Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Ram, 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 Ram.
तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं पुनो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yataha papiyasi kirtir adharmascha mahanranam yato virodha sarvesham yatadir anantakaha yataha papiyasi kirtir adharmascha mahanranam yato virodha sarvesham yatadir anantakaha yata adir anantakaha yatapapiyasi kirtir
यतपापीयसी कीर्तिर् धर्मश्च महान् नृणाम् तो विरोधः सर्वेषाम् यत आदिरनन्तकः यतः पापीयसी कीर्तिर् अधर्मस्य महानृणाम् यतो विरोधः सर्वेषाम् यतः आदिरनन्तकः
adharmascha mahanranam yataha on account of a bad son, papiyasi, sinful, guilty, reputation, adharma, irreligion, cha, also mahan, great, renown of men, yataha, from which virodha, quarrel, salvation of all people, yataha, from which agi, anxiety, anantaka, endless. Translation purport by Sri Krishna Prabhupada ki Jai. A sinful son causes a person's reputation to vanish. His irreligious activities at home cause irreligion and quarrel among everyone. And this creates only endless anxiety. I'll just read through the next verses. Kastam prajapadesham vaye moha bandhanamatmanah pandito bahumanyeta yadartha kleshadagriha. Who, if he is considerate and intelligent, would desire such a worthless son? Such a son is nothing but a bond of illusion for the living entity, and he makes one's home miserable. Kada apatyam varam manye sad apatyas chucham padat nirvidyet grahan martyo yat kleshan nivaha graha. Then the king thought, a bad son is better than a good son because a good son creates attachment for home, whereas a bad son does not. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached for both. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanand Bhaktam Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The king began to think in terms of attachment and detachment from one's material home. According to Prahlad Maharaj, material home is compared to a blind well. If a man falls down into a blind well, it is very difficult to get out of it and begin life again. Prahlad Maharaj has advised that one give up its blind well of home life as soon as possible and go to the forest to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Vedic civilization, this giving up of home by vanaprastha and sannyas is compulsory. But people are so attached to their homes that even up to the point of death, they do not like to retire from home life. King Anga, therefore, thinking in terms of detachment, accepted his bad son as good impetus for detachment from home life. He therefore considered his bad son his friend, since he was helping him become detached from home. Ultimately, one has to learn how to detach oneself from attachment to material life. Therefore, if a bad son by his bad behavior helps a householder to go away from home, it is a home. Again, Om Jnanasya Jnananjana Shavakya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam are very wonderful. And although this material world is neither meant for attachment nor is it meant for detachment, this material world is simply meant to serve Krishna. The path of neutrality is the best for any devotee to neither become too much attached nor become too much detached, because ultimately this material world has nothing to do with the soul. Prabhupada says that ultimately the happiness that is born of the senses is just an imagination, because these senses don't belong to us. It's like if something belongs to us, then we can control it. But neither can we control, neither can we enjoy it, neither can we protect it also. So we are helpless when it comes to this material body, in this material situation. Just as a Maya pushes a button, and by that button, it generates sense objects. These sense objects fulfill our desires and give us another body, another body, and another body. So we have to consider deeply that in this month of Kartik, that our only property, Haha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Rishabhanu Sutrajita Karuram Okore Param, that our only property is the lotus feet of the divine couple, the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga, the lotus feet of the devotees. Vaishnavera Padadoli Tai Manasana Keli Tarpan More Vaishnavera Nam. Narottam Thakur is speaking that just simply decorate your body uh, with the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. And if you do that, what will happen? You will get divine realizations. Tarpam more Vaishnavana. Just do this, chant this name, perform oblations of this name, that is the names of the uh, pure devotees. Only by our attachment to the pure devotees of the Lord, can we become free from this material world, from this material attraction, which is very, very strong. So, in this month of Kartik, it is very good to realign our priorities and make time, save time. Prabhupada always uses this word, save time for Krishna business. So we have to save time for hearing and chanting. Many times, even we're doing service, but if we have a diverted mindset or we have a argumentative attitude, then we cannot really, by serving, we cannot really offer ourselves. The real offering is actually to offer oneself at the lotus feet of the Lord. So, in order to come to that point, to offer ourselves, we need to hear from the self-realized soul. I'm not qualified to speak, but yesterday I was hearing an extraordinary lecture by Srila Prabhupada, Divine Mercy of Srila Gopinath. That is one of my favorite lectures. Somehow, I clicked on that lecture. Listened to that lecture almost 2 times. I was going to listen to it the third time, but unfortunately, there was no time. So it was a extraordinary lecture actually. Prabhupada is speaking about the importance of spontaneous devotion. Spontaneous devotion. And Prabhupada says that if we don't associate with Uttamadikari, pure devotees of the Lord, then we will simply be stuck on the platform of rules and regulations. Simply on that platform, mechanical platform. Speaking about myself, I'm very mechanical. So we are stuck on that mechanical platform and we have no idea how to make further progress. But if you associate with the pure devotees, Prabhupada said that in order to practice pure devotion, one has to come to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. And then Prabhupada says that what is the way to come to the platform of Shuddha Sattva? It is, Prabhupada says, by practicing the principle of Anya Abhilashita Shubha. Krishna, I have no other desire except to please you. I will not, I may have, just like when the fan is switched off because some current is running, maybe still fan is spinning, but I will not act on any of those desires because as far as I am concerned, there is nothing else, nothing else, nothing else except your service. So, okay, unless we start on the platform of pure devotion, Prabhupada says we cannot reach to that point of spontaneous loving devotional service. If we have some material desire, then Prabhupada said it will take very long time. Of course, Prabhupada said there's no cause for disappointment, but one should be very, very careful not to accumulate material desires in our heart. Sometimes it may happen, speaking for myself, sometimes we may be doing really good in bhakti. We are feeling really ecstatic, so many things. At that point in time, devotees' blessings are coming, so many things are coming. But if we take that for granted and we do little sense gratification, then how will Krishna be pleased by that? Ultimately, whatever we do, we will get that result. If we practice pure devotional service, pure devotional principles, and we really cry, definitely one day we'll get, for sure. For sure we'll get. Today I'm here simply because of the reciprocations I have received from pure devotees, internally and externally. So when we try sincerely, we get a lot of reciprocation, we get a lot of encouragement. So Vrindavan is a place, is a forest that, or Navadvip is the forest. Vacha Godhra Kamanam Kumanchanitam. It's a very wonderful song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur about how that the fresh, attractive, most extraordinarily beautiful, resplendent Lord, Sri Sachinandan Gaurari, he is present in the forest of Gotrama Mayapur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, my dear friend, don't lose this opportunity to worship this Lord. So our only hope is the mercy of Gauranga Sankirtani, because the eternal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are very, very merciful. They are very merciful. What is their mercy? Extraordinary. Nityananda Prabhu, one day Nityananda Prabhu's associate Nikita Ramdas, he actually went to the home of Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami's brother. So his brother was doing deity worship, but when Niketan Ramdas came there, he did not bow down, he did not respect him. Therefore, Niketan Ramdas was displeased. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami chastised his brother, saying that, no, you have faith in Lord Chaitanya, but you don't have faith in Lord Nityananda. And therefore, this anyone who doesn't have faith in Balaram, Nityananda, they are destroyed. And just because of his extreme faith in Nityananda Prabhu appeared in his dream and told him, Hare Hare Krishna Das, go to Vrindavan. By going to Vrindavan, you will attain all things. So there is a mercy of the Panchatattva by pleasing the Panchatattva, by pleasing the devotees of the Lord, especially the eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. We actually get entrance, real entrance to Vrindavan. Real entrance to Vrindavan. Real entrance to Vrindavan can only manifest when Ara Kavi Nitai Chanje Karuna Hoive Samsara Vasna Mara Kavi Tuchha Hoive. Only when we will regard this material sense gratification as tuchha, as insignificant, then only we will be able to hold Braj Bhav in our heart. Otherwise, it is not possible. To the extent that we can become detestful of this material enjoyment. We don't have to become detestful of the material things or of the material body. Can be respectful to all material things. Ultimately, nothing is material, but we should become detestful of sense enjoyment. That is very important. And we should be very careful not to associate this situation or with persons who have sense enjoyment. Actually, two big problems are there in the path of bhakti. One is, the desire for sense gratification. And speak for myself, I am such a big sense gratifier. And basically the false ego. The false ego is another great impediment in Krishna consciousness. That's why it's so important for us to have the blessings of great souls. When we have the blessings of great souls, then we recognize the ego. I speak for myself. If someone speaks something, you feel bad. Why is the devotee speaking like this? How can the devotee speak like this? Even though you may pray, you may not speak, but still, it becomes quite depressing to even after so many, after hearing, still the false ego is so much strong. So the only way it can be eradicated is when we feel the affection of the pure devotees. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyuga Shri Jiva Gopalako. So the affection, what is the affection of the great devotees of the Lord? So by that affection, we can take the shelter of that affection. What is that affection? Yugala Madhura Rasashraya. The pure devotees of the Lord, they're always in the shelter of the sweet nectarian mellow emanating from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. They're always um, in that. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute that. Anarvita Charinjgar, Karunai Vartiranam Karu Samarvetam, Unnata Ujjarasam Savatishriam. This is very special devotion. It is the service of Sri Radha in the spiritual world that was never given before. That is a special gift of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's why Lord Chaitanya chose Rupa Goswami, because Rupa Goswami is Rupa Anjali, the leader of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani. And therefore Mahaprabhu chose him as the Acharya, Rupanuga, the Acharya, to distribute this special kind of prem, love, call it. That's why Mahaprabhu brought Nityananda, because Nityananda Prabhu is actually Ananga Manjari, who is actually one of the very, very important maidservants of Srimati Radharani in the spiritual world. So these two are very dangerous actually. So it is recommended Raghunath Goswami that when we are faced with the desire for sense gratification, we can call out the names, at least in our heart, we can call out the names of the pure devotees, and they will come and free us from this desire for sense gratification, especially lust and ego. This false ego, the way it can be subdued is when we have deep loving exchanges with devotees. So generally, we get hurt or we feel bad when we are on a very external, a very artificial kind of exchange with devotees. But when we have a very deep, loving exchange with devotees, and we relish Satam Prasanam Amiri Sabhito, we realize we relish the qualities of Krishna, then we feel like we are many souls in one body, because in that particular ambience, we feel so attracted. We feel so attracted to Krishna, feel so attracted to the spiritual world, and we feel that spiritual world is actually a reality. That is the life of our previous acharyas, that because they were discussing in such an attractive way the glories of Krishna. Therefore, they were always had such a deep love for each other. They were fully dependent on each other. Just like Madhavendra Puri and Nityananda Prabhu, they were locked in embrace for a long time, long time. And famous verses there, that how that this Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Namam Namam Tadeva Sharfam Maso So Tadeva Shokan Vashoshnanam Uttam Shlokam Yeshua Giyate. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that when Krishna started the rasa dance and Srimati Radharani left because she felt that Krishna was not giving her special attention. So when she left, Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, he went, when he could not find her, he went into the bushes of Vrindavan and he began to lament. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, we cannot imagine how much nectar is there in these two verses. So this is a spiritual word. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is basically the mellows of Srimad Bhagavatam when revealed. The mellows of Srimad Bhagavatam, the deepest mellows of Krishna consciousness, which are revealed. Like Saraswati Thakur also, what was his attachment for the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani? He was talking once to a group of scholars, and he mentioned that our path is very, very divine, it's very wonderful. This is coming from Srimati Radharani. And then he said, it's coming through Lalita Devi. And when he said the name Ananga Manjari, then tears were coming from his eyes, torrents of tears. And then he folded his hands and said that, I'm sorry, I cannot speak anymore. He went into his room for 3 days. He didn't come out. He didn't come out for anything. And his disciples were hearing that he was crying. So this is the great life of our acharyas. So much nectar. Narottam Das Thakur, what was his absorption when he left his body? His body transformed into milk. The seva that he has, Srimati Radharani, he completely, his body became that. So that is the glory of our Sampradaya. And we should have deep desire in our heart that we want to become one with their mood. So I was explaining that Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, his purpose contain the moods in the previous acharyas. And so it's very, very special that it is guaranteed that if you are connected to Prabhupada, that the heart will be attracted to a particular associate of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhupada will do that for you. And then as you learn more and more about that associate of Lord Chaitanya, you become very attracted to their mood of devotion, their mood of surrender. Just like Ramnadas Goswami, what is this attachment for Srimati Radharani? One day, person brought a leaf cup to give him some buttermilk. And Ramnadas Goswami saw that the leaf cup was little bigger in size. So Ramnadas Goswami said, oh, where you got it from? And Vrajvasi said, oh, I got from Sakistali. As soon as Ramnadas Goswami heard Sakistali, immediately he threw it. And he said, now I have to fast for 3 days. So on one hand, Ramnadas Goswami is very humble. He offers so many obeisances to the Vaishnavas. it is explained in Das Goswami's life that Das Goswami was always, his eyes were always decorated with tears. And he was so humble, even at the age of 90. Um, he used to pay obeisances to Vaishnavas. It would have, like Raghunath Goswami's body used to be so weak, so frail, and he would pay obeisances. It would be impossible for him to get up. But he would do it again and again and again and again. You know? So that was his humility, that was his love for the Vaishnavas, but at the same time, this was his extreme attachment to Srimati Radharani. He would pray day and night to be engaged in her loving service, and that is the glory of our sampradaya, the service to Srimati Radharani. And all our acharyas actually are giving that sweetest nectar. This is Brajadham. Brajadham is uh, the service of Srimati Radharani. Nartam Das Thakur says, Radhika Charana Nirnu Bhushana Kuriyatanu Yamavaite Anubhava. He's saying that simply decorate your body with the dust from the feet of Radharani. Then what will happen? Anubhava Bhai, you will get divine um, realization. And then he says to anyone who has taken shelter of Radharani's lotus feet, he said he congratulates that person. Congratulates that person. So Lord Chaitanya, who is in the mood of Srimati Radharani, he propagated this Nam Sankirtan. Nam Sankirtan is our greatest shelter. Our greatest shelter is chanting of the holy name. We don't need to go to forest. We don't need to leave, but we need to immerse ourselves in hearing the glories of Supreme Lord. We need to immerse ourselves in chanting the glories of the Lord. Especially this preaching movement is the secret key to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he went back to his spiritual world, Lalita Devi introduced him to Srimati Radharani as he is a servant of Gauranga. Immediately Srimati Radharani, hearing that, she became so happy. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says actually, if Krishna wants to show himself to me, let him come to Navadvip. I am not going to take a step out of Navadvip. Of course, Vrindavan and Navadvip are not different, but this is the power of this movement, this preaching movement. So the more and more we are enthusiastic to give Krishna to others, the more and more we will get access to the deeper confidential secrets of Krishna consciousness. Distributing Krishna consciousness is the best way to actually become qualified to think of Krishna. Because our attitude, our service attitude will become more and more. Because what is preaching actually? Preaching means let me sacrifice my mind, my body, my everything so that somebody else can become happy in Krishna consciousness. It can be any service, but the more we make that sacrifice, that is when that is real preaching. When that person feels genuinely that we have no ego, we have no desire to control them, we just want to serve them, that's it. And they feel like that, that is a real preaching. Then the heart transformation will happen because people in the material world, everyone is trying to exploit them. Buy this, get that, buy this, get that. But in bhakti, what is the difference? You only want to serve. You have no other desire. Just want to serve. You just want to make them happy. That's it. Many times you speak about, I want to make Krishna happy. But how many times do you think that I want to make a devotee happy? Right? That is, how many times do we think of that? Do we pray for that? That is important. So unless we have this desire to please the devotees, how much Lord Chaitanya had love for the devotees. His devotees stopped Mahaprabhu from going to Vrindavan. But Mahaprabhu very humbly said, okay, I will stay some more time, I will stay some more time. And what kind of affection Mahaprabhu exhibited for the devotees, that is a specific highlight of Gaur Lila, is the loving exchange between Mahaprabhu's devotees. Every day Mahaprabhu would go to Haridas Thakur to give him prasad. And Haridas Thakur would roll in the dust outside Mahaprabhu, outside Gambhira. Haridas Thakur would say that I am not qualified. I am not qualified. And you know, what was the kirtan? What is the festival? Mahaprabhu, every night he would do kirtan whole night. And for so many days, for so many months, Mahaprabhu, if you see one particular theme in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is Kirtan Rasa. Kirtan Rasa is the heart of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that if you want to get prema very quickly, then engage in Nam Sankirtan. And of course, Nam Sankirtan also includes preaching, also includes sharing with others in such a way that their heart becomes transformed. Preaching means to convince people about how Krishna is so wonderful by sharing our experiences. By sharing our experiences, when people are able to relate with our experiences, then their heart transforms. That is real preaching. This is real preaching. So for the preaching to happen, our heart and their heart has to be very close. Then only they can have faith in what we are saying. And that is dependent on how much faith we have in our acharyas, how much faith we have in Srila Prabhupada. Then that Hladami Shakti from the heart of our previous acharyas will enter the heart of the souls, the new souls. So many pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are there, but one pastime is uh, very important. That is of course, many important pastimes are there, but the Paninati festival is very central to our Sampradaya because in that festival, Raghunath Das Goswami, he got the opportunity to serve so many devotees. And by serving them, he collected a lot of blessings. And because of those blessings, he was able to reside, he was able to be in the association of Lord Chaitanya continuously. And as soon as he began to associate with Lord Chaitanya, immediately bhakti laced with renunciation dawned in his heart. That's what Raghunath Das Goswami says. Vairagavuk bhakti rasam pratne apayam mama hips mandam kripa mudaya paradukha dukhi sanatanastam prabhumashram. So he says, I worship Sanatana Goswami because Sanatana Goswami made me drink bhakti laced with renunciation, vairagavuk bhakti, which I was very unwilling, but Sanatana Goswami made me drink that. So, Gaurangera Bhaktagana Vairagya Prana. So, if we are actually close to Lord Chaitanya, then we will not want to be part of this material society. So-called, Prabhupada, the society, friendship, love, so-called. And we will enter into Sri Guru Srila Prabhupada's family, really, uh, then we become very, very fortunate. We become very, very fortunate. So we need to focus on Vaishnav Seva. Vaishnav Seva does not mean only preaching. Vaishnav Seva does not mean only serving Prasad. Vaishnav Seva means to do whatever it takes to make a Vaishnava happy in Krishna consciousness. That is Vaishnava Seva. And by that, our heart will become very enthusiastic to chant the holy names, to perform service, to go the extra mile. And then we can distribute that to others. So that is the glory of Gaurila. That see, it's very interesting. Raghunath Das Goswami every day was narrating 3 hours of Chaitanya Lila, but internally he was always in the fire of separation from Srimati Radharani. Tave vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vikyaya vitvanya mam jaravantikam. Oh, Srimati Radharani, please, please accept me. Oh, Devi Radhe, I cannot live without you. I cannot live without you. I cannot live without you. Please understand this and accept me. Accept me. So this is the mood of Raghunath Goswami, always in the fire of separation from service to Srimati Radharani. Raghunath Goswami, he would try to chant the holy name. And in chanting the holy name, he had a strict vow that he would chant every day 128 rounds. But while chanting, he would enter into the pastimes and then he would faint. He would go into Leela for 8 hours. He would come back. He would realize, oh no, this is no time to complete my vow. This was his life. This was his life. And so humble. The regulative principles that he followed were like lines on a stone. He would pay obeisances to people. Pay obeisance, embrace so many devotees. So many devotees. And Srimad Rupa Goswami wrote, Lalita Madhav, about how Krishna, about Radha Krishna, how Radharani was feeling so much separation when Krishna left Vrindavan. Raghunath Goswami went into such a state of lamentation because his heart is one with the heart, of Srimati Radharani. So the Manjaris, they experience that Radharani becomes happy, they become million times more happy. When Radharani becomes sad, they become very sad. Just like if you see a tulsi plant, the Manjari, if the leaf vibrates to some extent, the Manjari vibrates many times that way. The same way, the Manjaris, they are that much sensitive to the feelings of Srimati Radharani. They have so much love for her. Like, one day, Srimati Radharani, she wanted to go and meet Krishna, but unfortunately there was some obstacle. There was some service at home which did not allow her to meet Krishna. So, Raghunath Das Goswami's Rati Manjari, he was massaging the feet, lotus feet of Radharani's mother-in-law. He did that service in such an expert way that she didn't notice the difference. And she did that the whole night, while Radharani was with Krishna. Radharani was so happy that, wow, what a service attitude. What is it? He couldn't even make out the difference. So that is seva, seva. And that seva, that service attitude, Prabhupada's service attitude is like a volcano. That's why wherever Prabhupada went, that service attitude was spreading like fire. That's why everyone Prabhupada came across, they were so eager to serve. How can I serve? How can I serve? How can I serve? By Prabhupada's one lecture, 30-minute lecture, Prabhupada's association, everyone became so mad. It's a Prabhupada is saying so proudly in his lecture. In our society, we say that 24 hours continuous service. So Prabhupada is speaking like that means uh, devotees are doing it. So it's not just that Prabhupada is saying, actually devotees are doing it. So that is the glory of Srila Prabhupada, his service attitude. What a service attitude. Incredible. Incredible. Is that Prabhupada's disciples sacrifice their love, their affection, their quality of service. What is the quality of their service? They had no training, no DT worship seminar, no holy name seminar, no preaching seminar. But look at the quality of what they've established. We're just like, you see Juhu, you see Mayapur, you see so many places. New Vrindavan, wow, New Vrindavan, how difficult is it to maintain such a big property? But that is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. So we're very fortunate to be connected to such a Srila Prabhupada who is an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna, an eternal associate of the spiritual world. And that's why from his heart he manifested all the holy places, all the holy places. Yes, maybe there is Radha Kund, there is Shyam Kund, but because of Prabhupada's influence in Vrindavan, you know, Prabhupada said that within this Krishna Balaram temple, I have established all the holy places. Prabhupada said, of course, devotees can go, but Prabhupada said that if you simply stay within this Krishna Balaram temple, you are living all the holy places of Raj. Everything is there. Everything is there. So that means that from Prabhupada's heart, Prabhupada manifested all the holy places. Let's end with one short story. I think I told that before in the class, but it's very wonderful story. So one day, one devotee, she was doing book distribution. See, this is very Prabhupada said, one someone asked Prabhupada that what is the meaning of Nikunja Yono Ratikirti? Prabhupada said that means go book distribution. So actually there's a deep, deep import to this, what Prabhupada is saying. Whatever Prabhupada is saying actually happens. Actually, like literally happens. Literally. So there was one Mataji, Shri Shamaksha Prabhu sent this to me. She became very sick. I mean, sorry, she had some serious problems. Her husband was not cooperating. Eventually, her husband left her. But she was continuous doing book distribution, doing book distribution. She went through many problems in her life. Then one day, she went to Vrindavan. And when to Vrindavan, one person told her that I will show you the path to Srimati Radharani. So of course we don't want to offend Brajvasis, but what happened is that she gave up her service of doing book distribution. And every day she was going to Radhakund, she was going, but she gave up her service. So one day Prabhupada gave her a dream. Prabhupada came, Prabhupada took her by the hand, right? And Prabhupada took her by the hand to Radhakund. So they walked into Radhakund, into the heart of Radhakund, they walked. And there, Prabhupada was showing that there are so many souls who are crying. And Prabhupada was personally distributing his own books. And as he's distributing his books, he's getting his books, each soul was getting a spiritual body and going back to God. So Prabhupada told that Mataji that never ever stop distributing books. Distribute books till your last breath. So this is the power of our movement. Because Prabhupada is a Brajvasi, he has the power to give that kind of benediction. Prabhupada lectures are extraordinary. It starts from here, goes here. It's like you hear proper lectures, yeah, incredible transition. It looks like it's very simple, you know, the cell of the body. Then somewhere Prabhupada goes to another level. Extraordinary, extraordinary. So everything is there in Srila Prabhupada's movement, and everything is there in the heart of Prabhupada's pure devotees. It is there in their heart. So you should always remember the verse of Prabhupada Saraswati, Yatha Yatha Gaura Padar Vinde Vindit Bhaktin Krita Punya Rasi Tata 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 Hridaya Hridaya Sarpati Akashmat Radha Padam Bodha Sudham Gurashi. That if we become attached to the loving movement of Lord Chaitanya, then what will happen? That suddenly we will find our heart inundated with the nectar flowing from Radharani's lotus feet. Hriday Akashmad Radha Pradhan Bodha Sudham Gurashi. Just like my spiritual master was one time mentioning that how that when this movement will take a loving shape in your heart, you will feel that kind of tremendous attraction to Krishna that everything in this world will appear to be completely insignificant. And you will be drowning in the ocean of ecstasy. Iti drikshva lila vir ananda kunti svagosha vimachata akhyavanta. You will be drowning in that Braja Leela Kathamrita. So it's cool, that is his exalted realization. One time one devotee asked him that how much time it takes to get love of Godhead. He said it just takes one moment. So when the time is right, when Mahaprabhu is pleased with us, when Prabhupada is pleased with us, they can give us that in our heart, and then we will actually become happy. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has any questions or comments? Please forgive me, I just repeated what I heard. So, no realization. Right.
In last future, you can understand because bad study is a very good study.
Yeah, so Prabhupada is saying that it invokes renunciation. Of course, see, in this case, sorry, in this case, he tried, right? They tried to counsel Vena, they tried to bring Vena to the right path, but it didn't work. So Prabhupada is making the point that if that happens, then we have to understand that it is a special arrangement of the Supreme Lord. Instead of becoming frustrated, should just understand this is Krishna's arrangement for this. And then do the best you can and let Krishna take care. So Prabhupada is saying in this context, Prabhupada is not saying for all. Prabhupada is saying in this context, if it comes to this stage, then that's the way we have to take it. This is very important. The context is very important. If you are in this context, if you are in such a situation, you cannot do anything. Your son has come to that level. Then you can take it like that. You have to do whatever you have to do. Instead of blaming yourself that, oh, I'm so unfortunate, why I got a son. Prabhupada is saying, take it in this way. But of course, we want to train our children to become pure devotees. Of course. Is that okay? It's very important to take Prabhupada's things in the context also. Otherwise, it may artificial denounce. Anyone else has any question or comment?
He said we should be more desires, material desires, but
No, I said material desires may be there, but we should not act on them. We should not act on them. We should not cultivate that. That's all I'm saying. Anyone else has any question or comment? I'm just trying to send actually that lecture, that amazing lecture that I found yesterday. Anyone else any question or comment? Online? Okay, I'll just take a moment to send that lecture and end it, because that lecture is extraordinary lecture actually. Prabhupada speaks about Ramanava Bhakti in that lecture in a very wonderful way. And Prabhupada is encouraging everyone to come to that platform of spontaneous devotion. Very beautiful actually. Oh, people online are saying they could not hear. Could you all hear properly? Yes? Okay, that's okay. Very good, they didn't hear. At least they can hear this lecture from Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubyascha kripasindubhyacha paitahari pavanayo vaishnava. Amitakoటి Vaishnava Krishna Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.